everybody, welcome to the show that never has a blue light special. That's right, it's 5 minutes you won't get back. A little show we waste 5 minutes of your time, but as always, the 5 minutes does not start until we say it does. I'm Brian.
I'm Heather, and to make up for last week, I'm starting the 5 minutes now.
All right, and today, strangely, I want to kick back to October and Halloween, since we're still in Thanksgiving mode. Anyway, I didn't get to complain about this before, but I want to talk about one of the dumbest Halloween games, I guess we can call it Halloween games. Bobbing for apples.
What?
Ridiculous. But before we talk about my experience with bobbing for apples, which isn't much of an experience, I'm just going to complain about my lack of ability. Did you know that started way back in European times, but they originally used it as some of you might know this, a dating thing. So the woman bobbed for the apple, and if she gets it on the first try, she's good with her guy. If it takes 2 times to get the apple, the relationship will fizzle out. It's not going to be successful. The third bob, you miss it. After the second try, the third apple, if you get it, still your relationship's doomed. So you got to get it on the first or second try. But even the second try,
it's going to fizzle out.
It's going to fizzle out, so what's the point? I don't even know why they came up with those rules. It should be you either get it on the first try or you don't. Because the second try is pointless as well. Anyway, they also used to do a thing where if she gets the apple, they peel a large chunk off of the apple, or peel the skin off.
Uh-huh.
They spin it around her head 3 times, something of that nature. Then they throw it over, or she throws it over her shoulder, or they throw it over their shoulder. When it hits the ground, the peel will represent a letter of the initial of the person she's going to get together with. So when it falls, it looks like an L.
But what if
you're dating a Leroy?
But what if she just she's courting Eric, and that's an E, and she got it on the first try.
I think on this,
but then they do the apple peel, and it's an L.
I think this version of it is that she doesn't know who she's getting, and it's prophetic who she's going to date. So if it looks like an E, she needs to hunt down an Edward. Edward sounds like a British kingly name. Oh, yeah. And I guess, once again, that version of it fizzled out in the 1800s. It wasn't very popular.
So only girls had to do the bobbing for apples? That doesn't seem very fair.
Back in the day, the guy would just sit back and, is she going to get that apple? I guess not. I'm going home.
How hard is she going to try for that apple? Wow. Okay.
So have you ever bobbed for apples?
I mean, I had to have at some point in my younger days, but I don't remember. I really don't remember. If I did this maybe only once or twice, I'm sure I did. I probably did not do very well.
So here's my problem with bobbing for apples. It's impossible. And of course I don't know if you played by these rules, but when I was a kid, you couldn't grab it. They took the stems off. That was a cheat. So, number one, for those of you that don't know, and most of you probably don't, me and water don't agree very well, and I don't like to stick my head underwater. So bobbing for apples, number one, is an impossible task for me, because I don't want to put my head underwater. And guess what you got to do when you bob for apples? You got to put your head underwater.
Don't the apples kind of float?
They kind of float, but listen, this is what's so dumb about this.
When you go for it, you probably push it down.
There's a bad joke in here, but it'd be much easier to bob for bananas because they fit in your mouth. But anyway, with the apple, it's big and it's the skin's slick. You got if it's in that like a tub, you can't get to it unless you push it all the way down. Number one, that's not happening with me and the water's always freaking cold, and I can't. And plus, so the reason I did it back in the day was because I felt peer pressure. Because you know that peer pressure. I wasn't going to do it. Come on, Brian, you can do it.
That's what your friends peer pressured you into is bobbing for apples?
It wasn't the drugs. It wasn't the alcohol. Listen, I went to a Christian school. What are we going to do? Anyway.
You had it pretty well.
So
pretty
hey,
good.
Brian, why don't you bob for those apples? Play dangerously. So anyways, but yeah, so I if I remember correctly, too, when I did it, I didn't go for all the gusto. It's like, you know what I mean? Somebody's like, "Here, Brian, take a sip of this alcohol." Okay, take a, it's just
just a dare for an apple.
Right. So I just kind of went in the water like about here, and I'm just like, and of course I'm like, I'm not gonna get this, and I gave up I'm pretty sure I gave up immediately. Mind you, it didn't impress the women at all. There were women there,
And they were not impressed.
They were not impressed. I did not get any dates after they saw me. Are you serious? We went 5 minutes
That's
on
good,
that.
though. Remember, we're making up for last week.
But
We went a
anyway,
little
my
long.
bobbing
Okay.
for apples attempt was horrible.
Okay.
So overall, I think it's and everybody I've talked to that has bobbed for apples, I don't think has ever gotten an apple. And I
Okay.
think if anybody out there has, please let me know. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you felt most triumphant because you never.
I don't remember. Probably did not get an apple.
So yeah. So
You gotta have your vampire teeth in.
So next year, when it's like Halloween, you throw a Halloween party for kids, don't do it because some poor kid's going to get peer pressured in the bobbing for apples and he's going to be humiliated.
Or maybe he'll be wildly triumphant.
He won't be.
All right, well,
There's no way he won't
let's
be.
go.
Anyway. Yeah?
Okay, well,
That's
I'm
it.
Heather.
Wait a minute, so that's all we got. We kept this short and sweet. We're going to start talking about some Christmas stuff soon. So, yeah, because it's December. Anyway, yeah, I'm Brian.
And I already said who I was.
So
I see how I'm helping
She-
y'all out this week.
Can you tell she doesn't want to be out here doing this? Anyway, it isn't a great day
Oh, I
until...
want to be here.
What? Okay,
oh, yeah,
I got to
sorry.
do it again.
Okay.
And remember, it's not a great day until we wasted 5 minutes of your time. And we'll see you next week with
Yeah.
a more relevant topic.
Yeah.
And this is where I just walk away and leave you standing here.